Welcome to Journey JavaFX. This is the season 2 episode number 7. In the previous episode we already created a table, so in this episode we are going to insert some data into it. Let's get started. So insert the data. It will be slightly different from the statement we used in previous episode. This one is called prepared statement. It's just another type of statement, and to execute the statement is different. Before we call it execute Sql, but for this one we just call it execute update, because Sqlite consider insert as a update. That's my understanding of it. Okay, let's do it. So for this one, it's quite simple. We're gonna keep using this test bench. Let's say, okay, first we need a connection, no matter what. So connection dot connection equals to our db dot connection dot, gotta be new, db dot connection dot connect dot connection. So this will give us a live connection. We are going to do a connection closed dot close. In the end, just best practice, like info. Let's say connection is closed. Oops. Plus connection dot is closed. All right. So that's the part. And then we need to create a new statement variable. So it's called prepared statement. Let's call it S statement again. And then connection dot create statement or prepare statement. This one, it will asking for a variable. Let's see what it's asking. Asking for a Sql script. Okay, we're gonna generate it. So go back to our tool. This part is very handy. Right click on this story table and say generate query for table. Let's say insert. So then we have a template. We don't need to manually memorize all of this. But if you use this thing for a long time, of course we can memorize those commands. It's quite simple. Just insert into a table name whatever the column we want and whatever the value we want to pass in, right? It's as simple as that. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna copy paste it into our notepad. It's just easier for editing. Let's choose the language to Sql. It's bigger and easier to see. So the ID part is auto-generated. We don't need it. And for the date, it's a integer. Remember, we're gonna say today is 2021 12. Oh, it's already 22. Okay, this part is a date. We're gonna say a tag. Let's say test. The title, we're gonna say test insert data 1. Folder, we're gonna say whatever folder, test folder, whatever it is. For hours is a double. We're gonna say 1.5. Let's say we spend 1.5 hour on this thing. The HTML, let's just HTML. Assume this is the HTML, and the content, let's say HTML, because no, let's call it content, some content, right? All right, this is the query we are going to use. So now I'm gonna make it into one line just to save some space. Okay, all right, that feature is neat. So then we're gonna say string. Let's say SQL, because it's a Sql script. Let's paste in the whole thing. Put a semicolon to end the line, and then we're gonna pass in this Sql variable to here, right? And we are going to do a statement dot execute update. and that's it. So after we run this thing, it should insert whatever we put in the value and the brackets part into our database, right? So for now, let's do a refresh. The current data like this. So we are expecting this inserted. Let's run it. Test. Looks done. Let's do a refresh. Yeah, we have all the stuff. Okay. Content, we can see the date, we can see the type, we can see the title and the folder and the hours. Looks working okay. Let's take a look at the log. So in the log, it's not telling us what kind of query has been executed, right? So we're gonna put some logger here, a string just right before this. I'm gonna say logger dot info. Yeah, for this one, let's say debug. Query is prepared as. We're gonna put in this statement plus statement. We're gonna do this, move it one line below, because right before we execute it, right? So we want to see what exactly has been done. Now should be okay. Put another line and say logger query okay. Okay. All right, let's do it again. So in this way, the log will make more sense, right? We'll refresh. Okay, DB connection is ready. It's true. That's good. The controller is a debug level. You see, we have info and debug, and the query is prepared as this thing. Looks okay. Parameter equal to null. That's true because we don't have parameter passing. And then this line, query executed okay, and then connection closed. True. Perfect. Let's go back to our database. Do a refresh. We see another line of record. All right, perfect. So far, we're gonna move it to another class because we don't want to do this every single time, right? Same idea. So then I'm gonna copy paste this crate, call it insert. So this one, we're gonna change it. Let's say void insert. Let's call it a one record. Right? Let's make it bigger. And then we need to, for now we are just running a static query, right? But actually what we want to do is passing in the parameters, so the query will work not only for this line of record, it will work for the other line of record, right? Make sense? So then we need to do some tweak. The insert value part, let's move it to next line, and then the value we're gonna make them into parameters. Yeah, in this way, the query will work more like more dynamically, right? Instead of we hard code it, right? So we're gonna do some tweak about it. So query dot okay, here. What are we gonna do is we turn this let's say statement dot add statement is called statement dot set int 1. It may look a little confusing, but I'm gonna explain it right away. So it's more like, you know, we want to change this query into a dynamic form. So then we can replace all this actual data value outside of this statement, right? So then we need to pass in all of this kind of parameters. So we're gonna turn this one into a question mark. And then the next one will be statement.set string number 2. And we're gonna pass in this part. And turn the whole thing into a question mark. You may have question about why we are using the 1, 2. I'm gonna explain it just in a minute. Dot set string 3. So we're gonna pass in this thing. All right, and then turn the whole thing into a question mark. And then it's this statement dot set string number 4. This, and turn that into a question mark. This one 1.5. It's a double statement dot set double. It's number 5. And then this HTML is number 6. Statement dot set string number 6. And then let's say this, and then we're gonna do the last part, some content statement dot set string number 7. Yeah, question mark. Okay, so it's more like, you know, for this kind of string, all the question mark are placeholders. The number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is mapping back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, it's a little confusing, but it's kind of measured by partition, you know. For each question mark, it has its kind of partition. And then when we put our dynamic data into it, it's just looking for the partition stuff, right? We have 7 question marks, then we have 7 places to replace the query. And then after this, we can try to prepare it as this one. Okay, we want to see the final result. So yeah, so in this way, the insert query will be dynamic, right? Let's run it again and see what's gonna happen. Basically, we are expecting one more line of data like this to be inserted into this database table, right? Click on test. Let's go back and see the log. We'll refresh. All right. So you'll see the connection part ready. True, it's good. And then here is the query is prepared as this. It has all the question marks and all of these parameters gonna replace all those question marks. And then our query executed okay. Connection closed true. Looks like everything is fine. Let's do a refresh. Yeah, we get another same record. So in this way, we achieve a dynamic kind of query instead of the hard-coded one. So then in this way, we are going to wrap all of this. We're gonna cut it, save it, add this insert one record here, right? But of course, we need to mapping. I mean, we need to take all of this out. But for now, it's good. It's already probably more than 10 minutes. In the next episode, we are going to utilize our model. It's more like create the kind of the operation between our insert query and our model. All right, that will be super cool. I'm gonna see you in the next one.